First of all, before I get on to justification, a note about types of fonts. We've got proportional fonts, where characters take up different amounts of space. So an I doesn't take up as much room as an M. And that does make the text look a lot neater, a lot easier to read. Then we've got monospaced, where each character occupies the same width. And this can be useful in some circumstances if you want to do your own justification. Look at that later. Because where's the justify in the tool options? It's there. If you've got a lot of text, don't do it in Gimp. Use some text processor where you can check the spelling, copy it, go into Gimp. There's my text tool. I'll draw out a text box. It becomes fixed. I can paste it. Use the size to adjust it to fit. Looks like that. And that's left justified. Can make it right justified like that. Can make it center justified, which should only be used for headings. And we can have filled. Filled goes all the way from left to right, except for the last line of a paragraph, where it starts on the left and finishes wherever it finishes. I can adjust this fixed text box, and the bulk of the paragraph will remain justified, and the last line of the paragraph moves to suit. Not quite the same if I go in, I'm using a dynamic box here, and I put in 2 lines of text already. At the enter key, now do a third line of text. And because I've used the enter key between each of these lines, Gimp treats them as individual paragraphs. So while I can justify it that way, when I come to fill it, it's basically the last line of 3 paragraphs. It doesn't matter whether I go onto a fixed box or not, or dynamic. I can do it like that using the drop-down menu or click and drag. I'm not going to get it justified. Left, right, center, but not justified. I'll introduce you to the old Gimp editor. This comes from, still in there, from Gimp 2.6. If I concertina the lines together to make one long line, close that down, we've now got it justified. Left, right, center, filled. I can move this text box around. If I want to do a little bit of editing, manual editing, I might put in a line break there, cross between the 2 evils. I can adjust the text box to suit a little bit, like that. And I can manually space the middle line out like this. Not so pretty. But the left hand side and the right hand side roughly match. So that's one way. This is the mono-spaced font, and I don't even need to go into justification for this. I can space this one out, still in a dynamic box, still on left justification, and it's a little bit easier because all the characters occupy the same width. So that's just a thought of doing it another way.